chat up here in just a second. You've got Summer sleeping about that far from you, and Rachel about to come here to knock everything over because that is her way. She just got up. Well, I guess you just lay down again. She says, we're live streaming. It's time for me to get in the lap. Actually, you're almost always in the lap. If I'm sitting, she's just about in the lap. Hello, Paisley. Well, thank you, Paisley. It's fine. I mean, the wish list is just to really help me along in a few ridiculous things that I don't really expect anyone to get. Well, I was just about to introduce our topic because most of this is going to be replay because I've already had a live today, so notifications isn't going to go out, but we're going to have a small live, but I'm not going on a major topic. It's just there's someone else that's going to be adding themselves to the drama very soon, and I'm getting everyone ready for it, and we will talk about and frame this person ahead of time before they start entering our combat arena. Hello, Buttercup. Oh, that's fine. I'm here every day. Now, I take that back because today I do have to walk to the store because I need to get some regular hamburger buns and my lighter's about to die. Matter of fact, it feels dead right now. So, unfortunately, I have to walk 7 miles just for a lighter. Now, I already looked at the weather today, and later on this afternoon, there's a warmer stretch, and I will make that walk then. Hello, Kaz. So that was one reason why I thought that, well, if I had transportation and could get back and forth to Somerset on a specific day every month, I could get $400 to $600 in heating assistance this year. But because I lack transportation, I cannot. Now, because of people like Jimbo, you have to be there. Because I've had people like, well, can't you call? Can't you do this? Well, it's because of people like Jimbo and all the cheaters that you have to be in person. And because of so many cheats around here, I do understand the requirement of having to be there in person for the heating assistance. Because once again, there's only a limited amount of dollars, and when the dollars are gone, they're gone. And if people like Jimbo knew that they could cheat the system and not go down there and pretend they're someone else, they certainly would. Now, we've had some fair weather friends, and as you people know, I do not get involved in small disputes between people. It's kind of wrong. Let two people settle their small disputes themselves. Well, River and LaDawn had small disputes, and they decided to nuke the entire terrain and join the other team. Now, River says she's going to start doing live streams again really soon. And we're going to go through a bunch of her comments to Bob and Lori. Yes, we are. And we're going to talk about her. Now, as many of you saw, River, oh, we love you, Roger. We love you. I mean, she love bombed the hell out of me. And out of respect, when I saw one of her comments somewhere, I dropped her a flat. Is after Jimbo hunted me with a gun, anyone, small YouTuber, mod, anyone that takes that side over there, I'm going to annihilate. Funny thing, Sarah Smiles mentioned me, trying to get my attention, saying she didn't mean that. That's not what she was doing. Bull fucking shit. I was sitting in that chat the entire time when it happened, and she was fucking helping, walking people through flagging people that Jimbo was telling her to flag. And that's why she's blocked on this channel. And that's also why, honestly, why I would not go to Mama T's. Because as long as that cunt had a wrench there, I'm not going to be in anyone's chat. In fact, anyone that gives Sarah Smiles a wrench, I'm not going to be friends with them. I might be neutral to them, but I'm not going to get close to them because it shows me they have a poor judge of character. Now, many times you have to wait until people reveal their mask to see this character. And River has pulled her mask off, and so has LaDawn. But when I gave River the heads up saying, anybody on Jimbo's side is fair game, you know what she did? She went over to them, their side, and to ingratiated, said that I threatened her, when I didn't. I just stated what Jimbo did in the harshness that I'm going to be to anyone on their side. And she, for clout, then this supposed person that loved me and my friend, you heard her kiss my ass. Then runs over to them. He threatened me, trying to get love clout from them. Now, see, this is a love bomber. And this is why this is a dick leech. Now, I mentioned that in my last live. There is a rare creature in the female world. It's called the dick leech. And they do nothing but attach to men. Now, once again, River is the worst kind of dick leech. She goes after men that she can bury and take their money. Like I said, a woman can be a dick leech. That's her life choice. But River is a different variety of cock leech. She's one that goes after vulnerable men. Technically, you might describe me as a vulnerable man. And that's why she was love bombing me. I'm her chosen prey. Anything she would, quote, consider a vulnerable man. Unfortunately for her, I'm not a vulnerable man because I have been through this again and again and again. I have 2 girlfriends since I started on YouTube. One, I wouldn't even call it a girlfriend. We got to know each other for a few months. And at the moment that we became boyfriend and girlfriend, she did a 180 and became a fucking psycho. This relationship lasted 10 days. After the boyfriend and girlfriend part, yes, it lasted 10 days. And she was a love bomber. And that's exactly what River is. And that's why if anyone gives me compliments, I just say thank you and whatever. And it's not because they might not actually mean those compliments. It's because of people like my ex-girlfriend in River Blue. I have to feel that way as a defensive measure, so I don't become the victim that they want me to be. I mean, when I walked away 10 days later in that one relationship with Stephanie, she went around accusing me of everything in the universe, and she's followed me around YouTube since then. In fact, her sock account even pops in sometimes in Nicolina's for her to spy, and she doesn't know I have this sock account pegged. And this was the Psycho 10-Day Girl. And then when I got my second relationship since I started YouTube, Psycho Girl 1 kept calling Psycho Girl 2. Now, the second one, she was almost as crazy. But the thing is, she was a person of hope. She had some good parts to where Stephanie had none. Now, fortunately for me, you've seen Smelly Cat in my chat. During this time of this first girlfriend, we were all talking on Discord. In fact, my ex-girlfriend called Smelly Cat her best friend. Now, Smelly Cat says she was not my best friend. You see what I'm saying about a love bomber? Is because this is what a love bomber will do. I love you, we love you, I love you, constantly. And if it's of the same sex, you're my best friend. So fortunately for me, no matter whatever that CXNT ever says, all I tell everyone, talk to Smelly Cat. Just ask her whatever you want to, and she will answer you honestly. See, there's no coaching in that. Like I said, fortunately, I have someone as a receipt so that all of her lies can easily be debunked, because all I have to say is, see Smelly Cat. Talk to Smelly Cat. I don't care what you ask her, or how you ask her, she will give you an answer and you will be satisfied with it. But I mean, that was, I've been through this love bombing shit before. And when River was doing it, I did recognize it as love bombing. Now, I thought she just might be a touchy-feely person. Because some people are. And once again, you might just get a touchy-feely person that is not a love bomber. So that's why you don't automatically just poo-poo on people when they're doing it. Because they might actually have these real feelings. The problem is, more times than not, it's nothing more than a love bomber. I'm checking chat for just a moment, in case I miss a question. Well, that's the real River. She's a user. I mean, growing up in the city, there were user girls all the time. It's why I wouldn't date what we would consider less than reputable women. Back in my career, I could have had ass as much as I wanted, falling out of the sky. But I told most of it to go away because they were nothing but problems. And these kind of women's were nothing but problems in business. And that was one of my biggest issues when I was a criminal, is because you would go to get your money and the old lady would be throwing a fit because she's a dick leech. And there's something she wants. She wanted the drugs, but now the drugs are gone. She wants to keep the money. And then you have to explain to the man that if you don't give me the money, I am going to fuck you up beyond human imagination. I don't care about your girl. I don't care about your kids. See, they always use kids. All these fuckers like this would always tell you, they'd always plead, the kids. And they always had cigarettes. They always had everything they wanted. But when they didn't have your money, it was always the children. And then I just put my arm around him, and I would too, and look him right in the eye and say, I don't care about you or your little bastards. Because usually the woman, one of the kids was his, and the other entire pack of them was each from a different guy. These are dick leeches. You can usually tell the dick leech because they have several kids and each one is from a different guy. And I would say, I don't care about you and your bastards. Have my money. This is end of story. We are not debating. You do not write checks that your ass can't cash. You got the drugs. You are going to pay me. And that is how it had to be. But I mean, these dick leech creatures, they constantly got in the way of business. I mean, there was one club member. I had never done a big deal with him before. We were doing a big deal in a parking lot. Actually, it was a clubhouse parking lot. It was a handoff. Now, she shows up on her handoff. It's supposed to just be, I do this and pat him on the shoulder and come back with some money in public. And she shows up telling me it's overpriced. It's not that good. And making a loud fit right there in the parking lot in the middle of a drug deal. He never got any weed ever again. Let's put it that way. Because you see, Roger, I dealt in bulk. So what I would do is pass half of my savings onto you. So this guy was getting, he was buying, he was buying a quarter pound and he was getting like 3/4 of an ounce extra. So, he was getting about $150 bonus in this bag I was giving him that he would then sell. But his dick leech wanted that money in his pocket now. Well, once again, once he sold this big bag of weed, he would have had that money back and more. And she comes up and I'm sitting there just staring at him. I mean, absolutely death cold stare right at him while she's screeching right at me. And this was one of these dick leeches. And this is what River Blue is. It's just she is a black widow, Dick Leech. She goes after men to bury them for large amounts of money. Well, Cash, she is. Now, see, I'm telling you what I have encountered. I just gave her, I liked her. I was her friend on my part. I was her friend. And as my friend, just in case, I warned her what Jimbo did. And I said that at this point, because of that, anyone on that side, I'm going to have to destroy. So instead of talking to me like an adult, the woman that supposedly loved me and is my friend ran to Jimbo and all of them and said I threatened her when I didn't. And this is why we're having this live, because I was reading comments and she says she's about to start doing videos and revealing. And we're going to get to some of her comments. I just wanted to frame everything for understanding until we get to her words. Because for my part, I was her friend. I was not going to get involved in her spat with Nicolina because I do not get involved with minor spats. Because usually they're glossed over at some point and reconciled. But not with River. I mean, she had a problem with Nicolina. She could have kept it with Nicolina. But now River wants to make that problem with all of us. And like I said, for my part, I was her friend. Now, after she went to them and said, I threatened her when I didn't, she's not my friend. I wish she could have been my friend. I wish she would have been my friend. But obviously, she is not my friend. She's not your friend. She's no one's friend but her own. And she's no better than Tamori. In fact, she's probably worse than Tamori because she uses men and then leaves a body when she's done. But like I said, I liked her. I wanted to be able to be neutral and support her as a human being. Maybe not in her fights, nor Nicolina's for that matter. But this is what River shows. She pulled off her mask, and we're here to put everything on the table. That's all we're doing here today. I'm not going to go over bashing. In fact, I've done really most of the bashing that I'm going to do, and I laid everything out from my perspective as I saw it and how I have experienced this in my life with this kind of person. They will say anything to get what they want when they want. Now, let's go over here to some of Bob and Lori's comment section. Now, 8 hours ago, River left them a comment. I'm so busy going from one specialist to another because of my lungs, not really wanting to work like they used to. Well, okay, she had a typo. Like they used to that. Apparently, I'm guessing that her phone added a word. Mine does that now and then, so I'm guessing her phone just added to that. I just missed another live, but I promise I'm going to try to catch up your live tomorrow. I love you guys. Now, every person here that saw River's chat heard how much she despised Bob and Lori. But yes, she says, I love you guys to Bob and Lori. You see, this is why I framed the love bombing. Because now she's love bombing Bob and Lori. The same Lori and Bob that she said worse things about than I ever have to this point. I hate this phone, but I was about to tell you, but then I opened my mouth. River in RIVERINTH A 901. And now type it in chat. That is her current tag. You know how they have tags on adder channels now? That's hers. And her channel name exactly. And that's what her channel name is as. River in the capital A 901. But yes, that's her current. And she's now love bombing them. But that's her current channel. She has a few shorts up on it. And that's what I communicated with her. And evidently I'm not subscribed. Yeah, I just realized evidently I'm not subscribed, but since she says she's going to do lives, I guess I am going to subscribe now. She has 56 subscribers. So she has just enough to go live by one. Now, let me get this all together again because I've digressed. I'm so busy going from one specialist to another because of my lungs not really wanting to work like they used to. I just missed another live, but I promise I'm going to catch your live tomorrow. I love you guys. Lori, I want you to laugh more. I want that for you, Bob. I so desperately wish we could talk. So yes, she's love bombing them. Now, apparently I can't see Bob's reply, but she says, "Oh, thank you so much. God bless you." I mean, she turned a 180 pivot in her acting to those people that were her enemies. She's no better than Melton fucking John. Now, I take that back. Melton John is better because Melton John is sick. Now, she left another comment on this saying, "I shared this, but if you don't want me to, I'll remove it." And then Bob said, "Please share away. This needs to be seen." And then River said, "Thank you. I got my desk in today, and I'm waiting for my handyman guy that I hire to come because he's the only one that puts all my stuff together when I need it. Once that is together, my office will be complete, and I'm going live probably within 2 days. I'm so glad this is being brought out because I'm going to be talking about this in the other 4 other lawsuits that she didn't win. Then I'm going into what she tried to do to me, but I'm going to be real nice, you know, LOL. But I'm living with you guys are doing." Now, see, once again, she has one giant run-on meth sentence. I mean, but, you don't start a sentence with but, by the way. It's comma, but. But I'm living with you guys are doing. Now, once again, that's her words. But I'm living with you guys are doing. I want you and Lori to laugh more. I know I keep saying that, but you guys deserve to be able to laugh more and not to laugh at somebody. I mean, just feel good laughs. And the next thing that she typed to him, this is why she recruited people with knowledge, certain knowledge. Okay, now let me redo this because she screwed the English up on this. You know, I was trying to speak this like an intelligent sentence, but we're going to have to do this one in caveman speak. This is why she recruited people with certain knowledge and very in the wrong hand software. So now she's basically accusing Nicolina of running a hacking ring. When we all know that Melton's just stupid. But yes, River is trying to gaslight that Nicolina is now a grand hacker and so's Rap because Melton's too stupid to realize it's Rap on the phone. And then the blind guy said, yes, she probably has some black hat wannabes that are experienced with the tools like Kali Linux mode out. I meant to say no doubt, but it went mode out. And then River said back, I'm glad you brought that up. I know exactly what you're talking about. Well, we know that there is no hacker and that Milton's stupid and they're bracing on to Milton's fantasy story that his phone was hacked. And she's trying to use that as a wedge to get in with Bob. Now, I have to admit, she is playing Bob like a fiddle. Now, as you see, she didn't play Roger as a fiddle because when I sold drugs, everyone loved me. When I didn't sell drugs, those people never called. Ever. So, Roger is well experienced in this love bombing phenomenon. And once again, it's deeds, not words. But those were her shit today. That is what she said to that fat, blind son of a bitch and that morbidly obese cow today. Now, you see, normally I don't act like this or talk like this, but I am being plain. And I'm going to be more plain about these assholes. That dumb fat bastard. Just saying. Because I call him a dumb fat bastard because he's fat, he's dumb, and no doubt he didn't have a father. That's what I want to ask Bob. I'd like to ask Bob about his daddy. I bet we'd find that Bob didn't have a daddy. That Bob just had a mommy. I'm just betting. Because, there's nothing masculine in him. Oh, wrong one. Oh, okay. YouTube had confused one of their lives. You know how sometimes they get one processing? Oh, yes. In earlier today, they had another live. And River left a comment on this. In what she said, I have been told that several people want to leave. I mean, like I know who everyone here is. I mean, anyone can leave anytime that they want. But this is the fantasy that she's pushing on him. She's feeding their psychosis in manipulation to get in with their crowd. I have been told that several people want to leave. However, because they also believed it was real, they had long conversations that spilled life details. Now they're scared that they'll have happened to them what happened to me. This is about to change. So we're going to get lots of gaslighting and lies from our once friend River Blue, who, of course, we were friends with her, but sadly, she was never friends with us. And you know what? That part about that is the only thing that affects me emotionally. It makes me sad. It also makes me not want to have anything to do with the next person that says, I love you, Roger. It does. I mean, honest to it. But yes, that was her comments to Bob and Co. just today. So she's basically laid out that she's going to come with ad hominem attacks on all of us. And we're going to be here ready for her. This is why we're having this live. I'm laying things on the table for all of us to see and being honest about it. And I'm sorry I don't have chat up right now, but I didn't go through this first. I knew some of these comments were here, but I didn't go through everyone because, to be honest, I really didn't want to be pissed off anymore. Because I did like River, and I was her friend for my part. Of course, she wasn't, but for my part, I was her friend. But I'll tell you this right now. That woman is no one's friend. Ever. Whatever her habit is, that's her friend. Now, here. I was just checking on a comment. I was curious. Oh, here's River's comment. Yes, one day ago, River, I missed. Bob, I was convicted. I walked away before notice being gone. Christ was nowhere in that. I actually made a live concerning my decision, Bob. You are right. The conviction is real. I'd said last night in your chat that I'd had to been silent for the past few months. It's been a blessing. Side note, my husband and I own 29 rentals. Several guys we hired took everything, never did our home improvements. Lori and Bob, it's good, truly good to hear both of you happy and laughing this tonight. See, she had to do something to make herself a victim. So, side note, my husband and I own 29 rentals. Several guys we hired took everything and never did our home improvements. And this is her comment in the video. You see, this was a tactic of to get Bob and Lori. Oh, poor River. And once again, I'm sure that a lot of people here said poor River because she had a much better lie. But this is a manipulation tactic. This doesn't have anything to do with anything. Like I mentioned in my last live, my half-sister died while I've been a YouTuber. And I didn't say anything about that until last night, to use it as an example. You don't bring everything to YouTube. Everything isn't YouTube's business. And the only reason why I said that, to illustrate, certain things are not YouTube's business. Not at all. They found she had cancer. She got a quick cancer diagnosis, and then with a couple years died. I didn't bring any of it to YouTube. It's not relevant to my videos. It's not relevant to my commentary. In fact, my half-sister didn't like me. She was about 14 years older. She treated me like garbage whenever she could. She hated my entire family other than my dad. We weren't close. But you know that what normally, they would start that shit. Like I said, she was horrible to me and we were never close. But you know how people like River are, they would have never let that go. And that's why I also framed, we were never close, ever. But if that happened in a love bomber's life, oh my God, I loved her more than anything. We tolerated each other. And I tolerated her more than she tolerated me. But that was her comment to them yesterday. Now, let's go to the video from the day before. Or the live from the day before. Come on, step spinning. Okay, apparently she didn't watch that one. I'm surprised because it had Nicolina in the title. She watched the next one that had Nicolina in the title. Okay, no comment on that one. Because like I said, I didn't go through all of these. Okay, yeah, okay. Now, the first day of Christmas. Now, they got 186 views over 8 days trying to attack Anna. And River left a comment on that. And she said, this is a great idea. Why? Because it's attacking the people that she wants. You see, River's going to go over there and just literally do a 180. All of a sudden, she loves all the people that she hated before, and now she hates all the people that she loved. And she's on fucking drugs, by the way. Just saying. Once again, I was always kind enough not to be it, but in reality, now that wasn't just, her prescribed medication. She's also a fucking drunk. Yep. I could tell that she was taking stuff, likely pills, no idea, but I could tell she was on a drug, and she was a drunk. Now, once again, I don't throw stones at everyone's problems. I don't go out and bust everyone's lies. I don't always be critical. But when River was saying that she wasn't drunk, she was lying through her fucking teeth to you. And those were her recent comments on Bob and Lori's stuff. Come on, give me one. Now, let me catch up with chat, and I'll be right back to you. Hello, Sailor. Hello, Rotten Peach. And yes, Kaz is right. There's a lot. Well, actually, Callie, you're fine. I mean, the thing is, you always will end up with manipulators. There will be good and bad people on every side. Like you noticed when I came in the community, I don't immediately go into people's chats. I'm there weeks before I ever say a word. And it's because I've learned that that's best. I knew not to trust Tamori from the very first moment I heard that bitch utter words. And Coco the same way. I knew that. I could tell it on my initial appraisal. Now, my initial appraiser also told me River Blue was a love bomber and likely a user of men. Oh, yeah, she's been hiding in Karma's chat, and I've seen it, and I'm not worried about it. But, she's taking the field, and she intends on, quote, exposing us and getting anyone else that turns over to their side to criticize us. Now, once again, I expect whole cloth fabrications. You heard what she was trying to allude that Nicolina got a hacker. That was to ingratiate herself to Bob. I mean, what I'm seeing, her talking to them in their comments, this is grade A #1 narcissistic manipulation. Now, once again, that does not work on me. Just a moment. I got a kitty under me and I got to blow my nose. Because as I get older, I'm getting allergic to them. A little bit. A little more every year. Well, McKenna, possibly. But, the fact of the matter is, I don't get involved in other people's spats. She could have had a fight with just her and Nicolina. No problem. In reality, I understand the community enough to know that, if Nicolina wants to individually fight with someone, no one else is going to say shit unless the other person does something outside of bounds. But like I say, I don't get involved in other people's minor spats because usually at some point, those minor spats are resolved. And once again, I'm an adult and I don't need to get involved in every minor spat. Now, River is wanting to drag us all into her spat and go over to the other side so she can grift. Well, you were right, Bite Me Now. You were right. You were ahead of me. Once again, I thought this is a likely case, but your assessment was 100% correct. And Rachel just farted. I gave her some raw hamburger yesterday, and it's like something has died inside of my cat. Just saying. Because I'm fighting the urge to vomit. Oh no, honey, because it smells like rotten hamburger. Now, the hamburger wasn't rotten when I gave it to her, but apparently somewhere in between the mouth and the butt, it gained a rotten smell. I love you, little kitty. And Katie, I didn't either. This is the first critical anything I've been of her. And I am laying my thoughts out to you. Agree with him or not. But of course, I'm laying out my case with it. Once again, if anyone ever in the chat asks me is why or why do you think that? That's something I noticed on YouTube. No one asks, why do you think this? When I came to YouTube, I thought that question would come up, but no one ever does. Now, once again, when I feel that, you need a full understanding of my position, I give these presentations on why I feel this way, my past experience that leads me up to feel this way, and the evidence of what leads me to believe this is my conclusion. And then anyone can challenge it and we can ever debate the point. Now, 99% of the time, I've got it incontrovertible. But, people can be ahead of me. Just like, our friend in chat, she was right about River all along, where I wanted to give her every chance in the world. I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt with the men. But obviously, watching her manipulative behavior now, I didn't think she was a intentional putter of men in the grave before, but how she acted towards me with the love bombing, the manipulation of Bob and Lori with her comments, that leads me now, where I did not think this before, to believe that she is a Black Widow. That is my opinion now. I did not have that opinion before. I gave her full honest credit in a pass. But now I see her behavior towards me. I see her manipulation of Bob and Lori. And no doubt to me, she gets with older men to put them in the ground for their money. Well, Kelly, I'm not looking at chat right now. When I'm doing a presentation, I'm not. Now, once again, questions are usually for the end of the live. Just saying. Now, once again, I can't answer every question. I'm not going to see every question. But important questions and facts, yes, I am going to answer every time. Well, see, this is the thing is, most of the community didn't. Like I said, River could have kept this fight in between her and Nicolina. And Rap's not going to co-sign in every fight. And nor am I. This is, now see their side, they're all going to get together like clump rice because that's always what they do. We're allowed to have our own opinion. I mean, Sayla's my friend and she's currently in a spat. And I'm not going to get involved in it because both of them are not monsters. They're girls. So, it's not in between me to get in between two girls in a spat. And I wasn't going to get in between just like that. I wasn't going to get in between River and Nicolina. But at the moment that she said that I was threatening her when I was trying to be her friend, well, then obviously she's not my friend. She never was. And she has laid out her intent to Bob in comments. So I'm laying out my intent right here. When she runs her mouth, I'll be talking about it. Just saying. Because to be honest, after the 10-day relationship with the love bomber, that kind of offends me on a base level. Honestly. Now, once again, that's my problem. That's my issue. But yes, I'm interested because everyone's not all innocent. So once again, I don't always judge people harshly. And I gave River all the benefit of the doubt. And in my belief, 90% of the people here and in the community did also. Now, River has burned the bridge. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. She is River, but she burned the bridge over the river in this community. But I wanted you to be heads up because, you never know what she's going to say. You saw what she said, that Nicolina's got black hackers just because Milton John thought he was hacked, and Bob likes hacking. So she was manipulating that. She knows there ain't no fucking hackers. And if she watched that, she know Milton, you got to simmer close up. They're hunting a mouse. So you're probably going to get knocked over, but you got a kitty close-up of unimaginable proportions. Wow, I could see a red spot inside your mouth, Simmer. Is that your tongue? I mean, she's like, I'm going to get that mouse. Yes, you are. Don't you, honey? You're going to get that mouse. You can see where she's been drooling. She sleeps and drools. I'm sorry, honey. I didn't mean to bother your drool. I'm just showing everybody you're a drooly ass. Well, I know when I redo my book, there'll be a lot less of me on YouTube. Just saying. When I do that, then I'll be doing like 2 live streams a week and daily videos. When I go back to writing, when I go back to writing, that's what I will do. I'll only do about 2 lives a week and maybe 1. Now, might surprise you, but a couple years ago, I did 3 months without doing a live. It was like in November, December, and January. And then I don't think I did a live until like late February that year. But that was the year before last. But yeah, so, we all have changes. And that's why if someone's not around for a while, I don't automatically think bad of them. No, I don't. I don't think anything. I just think they have life and they're busy. Because if I had a family, I wouldn't be a YouTube creator. I would be a lurker, and I'd be listening to YouTube, and I'd be with my family. Well, it's Amberlynn Reed, Part 3, on Omegon's main channel. And I've known Omegon for a long time. Now, I will tell you why Omegon likes me so much. His not his half-sister, but his stepsister is a YouTuber. And I'm not going to tell you who she is. Now, she's very intelligent. Very intelligent. She's also pretty. She's also a witch. And once again, I used to go in her chat all the time. I had the larger channel. Now she has the larger channel. But she couldn't get people in her live. And she was very sad. And she did not use her adopted brother for clout at all. She did not. I would go, you see what I do in our chats. I am entertaining. I would go into her chats and I would entertain the crowd just like I do in Nicolina and Rap's chat. And that would bring people to her live. And once again, I helped Omegon's little stepsister on YouTube when no one knew anything about that being his stepsister. I didn't know that was his stepsister until he made Omegon Part 3. Because she asked me something about the Kentucky flag. And I answered. And then Omegon had me wrapped in the Kentucky flag on Amberlynn Reed Part 3. And once again, there had been some extra hints left about, him having a stepsister, adopted sister. And once again, it didn't take Roger 2 and 2 at that point to figure out that this is Omegon's half-sister or stepsister, and this is why Omegon likes me. Hello, UK. Well, Rod and Peach, we don't always have to be nice. I mean, fair. That's all we have to be is fair. No one in the world we ever have to be nice. We just have to be fair and reasonable. Now, see, that's a problem in the world. You know, if we want to talk about philosophy and commentary, you know, we don't have to be nice. We just have to be reasonable and fair. I mean, someone that's not nice, you can be best friends with them as long as they're reasonable and fair and a pleasure to be around. You know, they could be a downright grumpy individual, but as long as they have these three qualities, they can be your best friend. But that is a problem in our world, is niceness. Is because most niceness nowadays is faux. So real niceness is worth its weight in gold. Faux niceness, it's just the wrapping that you rip off of the box. Because this is, now see, my therapist, she wanted me to do philosophy more types things on YouTube. Because when I would, you know, talk about these sorts of things, she really enjoyed it. And I can do this well, talking about philosophical things, but in reality, people on YouTube would rather have poo-poo words. And I'm not making a philosophical channel. I'm just going to sit here and make poo-poo words. Now, like I say, you know, once again, well, yes, Midnight Baker. Now, see, I see the world in shades of gray. I'm not a black and white person. You can have some gray and still be my friend. Now, you can't be a monster. Now, see, you can't be black, proverbially. You know, you can't be on the dark side of the force and be my friend. But you can have shades of gray and be my friend. And no one is completely innocently white. Sorry, didn't happen. You know, unless you just came out of the womb, you are not innocently white. You at some point are tainted some shade of gray. But the problem is what we consider the people that went so far from white to gray that they're pitch black hearts. And a woman that goes around and preys on old men for their money, for their lifestyle, this is a black-hearted individual. Well, it's okay, Trixie. You know, most people do just get to listen. You know, it's one thing that I had to explain to many of our drama creators. Now, right now, there's 79 people in chat. I can tell you right now, looking down here, there's about 15 people chatting. Now, that leaves 74 people. In reality, 70 of those people are just innocent, busy individuals living their lives. And there's probably 4 malcontents out of that whole thing watching. And that is one thing that I kept having to tell the other drama creators. Most lurkers are just innocent people. Just completely. And they like to watch our community. And the funny thing is a lot of these lurkers, like right now in the chat, we won't know their names, but they know all of us intimately, like they're our friends. Because you see, before I started doing this, I was in another community. And it had a name. Yes, I was a member of the Fandom Menace. That is my first YouTube community. And we even had our own vernacular, which I don't use here. But yes, I mean, that was my community. Now, that was from the entertainment side of the community. And what happened is, well, you notice how they ruined Star Wars. They ruined Star Trek. Well, for 2 years, I had no electricity at all. I was completely cut off from the world. And then September 5th, 2017, I got internet. So the first thing that I started doing was looking at everything in the universe that I had missed. So the first thing I did is went to entertainment and saw how they basically took all of the childhood things that I liked and ruined them. And that was the point of the fandom menace. You know, they ruined all of our old entertainment. In our community was the fandom menace. Now, he keeps changing his name, but the person that would have, quote, been our leader, now, his channel was Overlord TV. I'm trying to remember what he calls himself on YouTube. I got to be careful for terms of service. So when I say his name, you will understand why. Dictor Von Doomcock. Yes, that is his YouTuber name. And that is his last channel name, although I know he has changed it a few times. The last time I named it's Overlord TV. Now, I learned to fight trolls on YouTube fighting professional Disney trolls because Disney was paying people to come in and disrupt YouTubers and to harass YouTubers. And they were even threatening female YouTubers. So this is how I cut my teeth on YouTube. Fighting the corporate menace. And once again, Disney would call the fans toxic. I mean, if anyone didn't agree with you, they would say, you're toxic fans. And they even let that in official reports. When anyone would criticize them, yes, toxic fans. And because of them calling us toxic fans, we took the name as a community, instead of Phantom Menace, the Fandom Menace. And once again, we were there to keep them straight. And to this day, they are still bashing all of the bullshit woke crap they are doing in our media. But I knew I was coming over here to fight Amberlynn Reed. And I didn't want my baggage to fall on innocent people. So I separated myself from the community and I came over here to the Amberlynn drama community and I started fighting. But you would not believe the extent of the threats that the paid trolls would actually do to YouTubers. I mean, I had to threaten some non-term service style shit. Just saying. Now, there is another program called Midnight's Edge. And I used to be a regular there. Now, this is how I learned that I have the chops for this. Because they were going over, something one day, and I'm just a popular chatter. I didn't have a channel with any subscribers. I was just a popular chatter. And because I'm so intelligent, I don't have to super chat. The big YouTubers will pick me out and talk about what I have to say. That's a fact of my life. I have never had to super chat anyone to get what I wanted heard because, once again, when I say something, it's usually so relevant, it must be heard. And I pointed out, it's like, hey, wait a minute. This, and this doesn't line up. Just like I do here on this side, I found inconsistencies that led to a conclusion. Now, these guys are professional journalists, investigative media journalists in the entertainment community. And it turned out that I was just seeing the tip of an iceberg. I pointed out, hey, this isn't right. And then they looked into it and found out I was right. But when they looked into it further, they found out that I was just seeing the tip of something. I mean, there was an entire giant iceberg of Disney bad under it, and they did a giant expose on it. And I went, wow. And, you could see where, I told them this, but yes, that what I saw was just a tip. I mean, there was like an entire giant room iceberg under that tip that I saw, and they uncovered it all. And that was the point that I thought, I can do this. I can do this on a professional level. because it was proved to me that I could. So when I was encouraged to, at some point, once again, I knew I could do it. I can. Now, this is funny. I think is hilarious. Milton says, trying to say that I have social anxiety disorder because I won't go on a panel with a bunch of losers. Because all I have to say, Milton, on panel is fuck you and maybe something that's against terms of service. And in a country thing, like, oh, excuse me, you already do go fuck yourself. So why don't you go get that green thing and get touched, you stupid son of a bitch? I mean, that would not be much of a panel. Plus, this is a commentary channel. This is my opinion. They want me to give it away. I mean, I'm not their slut. I have a forum here, a commentary channel. And if I have something to say, here I go. Hello, Grubby. Now, this is now, once again, I liked River. For those coming in, that this is what it's about. In fact, I'm going to go over those comments again because we have a lot more people in here now. And River was my friend. I was River's friend. She could have fought with Nicolina, no problem. We all would have stayed out of it. That's my personal belief. That is an opinion. Get the volume down. But, she went through a bunch of their lives running her mouth. Now, about 24 hours ago, no, actually 5 hours ago, her comment is 5 hours ago. I have been told that several people want to leave. However, because they also believed it was real, they had long conversations and spilled life details. Now they're scared that they'll have happened to them what happened to me. This is about to change. Nothing happened to River. She had a spat with Nicolina. She had a fit and deleted her channel. So, yes, and now, like I say, she's trying to act like we're a cult holding people hostage. No one's held hostage here. People do come and go for various reasons. Because they lose accounts, they lose phones, their life might not be conducive to YouTube, they're tired of the drama. People do come and go. So, like I said, how would any of us know if you left and aren't just offline a couple weeks? I mean, well, I did. I mean, she did me too, Ash. I mean, like I said, after Jimbo threatened me in her cuddling up to them, I just left her a message saying what Jimbo did. And because of that, anyone on their side, I'm going to have to consider fair game on YouTube. And she went to them and said, I threatened her. I was being her friend. I was giving her a heads up because, I don't know what she knows and what she doesn't. But apparently she co-signs with Jimbo hunting me with a gun. Enough to the point to where when I tried to have a friendly adult interaction with her, she ran back and said I threatened her when I didn't. Because I know Ash was her friend. I know Kaz was her close friend. I could have been her close friend. Nicolina could have fought with her. The rest of us wouldn't have said a damn thing. But, oh, honey. She said, you said the damn word. She says, are you mad? You said the damn word. Oh, it's okay, honey. It's okay, baby. She just woke up and heard heard me saying that. So she's kind of worried a little bit. It's okay, honey. I'm not mad. Oh, it's good. Like I said, she must have been up having dreams. It's okay, honey. We's all happy. Let's go get it. She's half asleep in my arms. So you go okay, honey? You okay? We'll move you over here. Hello, General Awareness. Yes, General Awareness. River's going to expose all of us because we're evidently keeping several people hostage. I had just went through that comment. Yes, and in the last day or two, she's been sucking up with Bob and damn, I grabbed the wrong device. Oops. But I want to go through this again because this has made me mad. I mean, she's gaslighting shit to no end. And yes, 5 hours ago, she put on one of Bob's lives, I have been told that several people want to leave. However, because they also believed it was real, they had long conversations and spilled life details. Now they're scared that they'll have happened to them what happened to me. This is about to change. So yes, River's going to start talking about all of us and making false accusations. Now, this she left 9 hours ago. I'm so busy going from one specialist to another because of my lungs, not really wanting to work like they used to. I just missed another live, but I promise I'm going to try to catch your live tomorrow. I love you guys. This is what she's saying to Bob and Lori. Remember us? She loved us. Well, remember how bad she talked about Bob and Lori? She talked about Lori like she was a subhuman creature. Now she says, I love you guys. Lori, I want you to laugh more. I want that for you, Bob. I so desperately wish we could talk. Now, Bob said something I can't see. Amusing, I know. And then she said back, oh, thank you so much. God bless you. How much do you want to bet that Bob didn't put a phone number down for her to call and then quickly delete it? And then on this one, she left another comment saying, I shared this, but if you don't want me to, I'll remove it. And then Bob said, please share away. This need to be seen. And then River said back, thank you. I got my desk in today and I'm waiting for my handyman guy that I hire to come by because he's the one that puts all my stuff together when I need it. Once this is together, my office will be complete and I'm going live probably within 2 days. I'm so glad this is being brought out because I'm going to be talking about this and the other 4 lawsuits she didn't win. Then I'm going into what she tried to do to me. But I'm going to be real nice, LOL. But I'm living, or no, she put living. She meant to say loving. But I'm loving with you guys are doing. She meant to say I'm loving what you guys are doing. I want you and Lori to laugh more. And I know I keep saying that, but you guys deserve to be able to laugh more. And not just at somebody, I mean, just good, feel-good laughs. And then she added, this is why she recruited people with certain knowledge and very in the wrong hands software. You remember Melton accusing Rapp of being a hacker? River is feeding this in Bob's mind to manipulate him because Bob wants to be a hacker. Now, this is why I went through this, Rapp, because this is important, because obviously you are the one that supposedly hacked Melton's phone. So this is going to be bullshit that is at some point going to be thrown in your direction. In this way, see, I'm doing this live, so no one's going to be blindsided. That's the whole point of this morning live talking about River. And then after she gaslit that, Rapp is this black hacker. She didn't say Rapp. She just says, this is why she recruited people with certain knowledge and very in the wrong hand software. I mean, Melton accused you of being bodder. And then back, Bob said, yes, she probably has some black hat wannabes who are experienced with tools like Kali Linux, no doubt. He meant to say no doubt. But he's blind. So you see immediately, the narcissistic love bomber sucked Bob and Lori straight in, despite the fact that she said such horrible things about them. And then Back River said, I'm glad you brought that up. I know exactly what you're talking about. So she's alluding that, she knows exactly about the quote hacking. Like I say, we will go over this again. Bob's comment. Yes, she probably has some black hat wannabes who are experienced with tools like Kali Linux, Mode Out. And then River said, I'm glad you brought that up. I know exactly what you're talking about. And this is our supposed once good friend that not to eviscerate when she was obviously drunk and on pills on panel. Once again, I'm going to tell you a mod story, and you can be critical of me. You see, on my other channel, I was a mod for Alex is Shook. He has over 40,000 subscribers. Many times I would solo mod his channel with 1,500 people in chat. And oh my God, they were so well behaved. On his channel, it's like the most behaved chat in the universe. But, we've dealt with all of that there before with love bombers and all the bullshit. But, his community is very nice. And I used to be a mod over there. And I could still be if I want to. It's just, I'm kind of busy with our own thing over here hunting dragons. But, you get these river-like people that try to attach themselves to every creator. Now, Alex is Shook did have a pill problem. And there was one time he came on the live, he was fucked up bad. And the entire chat blew up. Oh, this was an ugly YouTube moment. My creator is on drugs. My creator is obviously fucked up to no end. And he's a great guy. As a human being, he is one of the greatest human beings in soul that you could meet. But he had a problem with some Xanax. And he didn't do them all the time, but every now and then he was doing them. And he was messed up on live, the entire gigantic chat blowing up, saying shit. And then I had to diffuse it. At the time, he had another girl there as a mod, and she did not know what to do. She was looking for a lead, and I know what she was wanting to know, should we start going through and blocking people? But, this was a chat of over 1,000. So, it was just scroll as fast as it would. And Alex was fucked up heavily. And I did say it, and I did, calm the chat as much as I could. And I told the other mod, I believe Alex wishes to address this. And he did. But wow, for me, that was an ugly YouTube moment. I still go, eh. But you know what? I did the right thing. I got through it, and he talked to the crowd, and he talked everyone off of the ledge, and he stopped doing the pills occasionally in binge, and he doesn't do that anymore. Now, once again, for a short phase, he was back on pills. And once again, as a mod, I had to smooth all that over in chat. So, I had recognized that River was drinking, likely on pills and drinking. Now, the pills could be perfectly legal pills, but I do know that she's putting alcohol on top of it, despite the fact that she said she wasn't. And I kept my mouth shut because I was her friend. Just like I'm Alex's friend. Yes, well, actually, John, we're all Boyd now. In fact, we have Botter in chat. Yes. Now, I'm not sure if he's left already, but yes, see general awareness. He even admits, he hacked Melton's phone, and even now, Melton says that general awareness is the original Botter. Yes. And who knows? He could be the original Botter. And in fact, I could have known general awareness for years and none of you would know about it. And he could have made his general awareness channel And he could be Botter all along. And me and him could have been buds for years. Because I've been Butter's friend for years, despite all of Butter's sins. Now, once again, this actually fits in good. Now, John here can tell you that Butter has many sins. Oh, God. I mean, when I say many sins, I think that that is probably an understatement. But I have always accepted Butter. I have not shit on Butter for being Butter. You know, you will find that I am likely the least judgmental YouTuber on YouTube, which is why I have told you these stories about Alex's shook. But yeah, I mean, I have to laugh every time I'm like, damn, that was it. Because it's like, you know, I'm having to figure out in the middle of a crisis, what is the best path through this? You know, when I am watching chat go like this. You know, people were wanting to call police and all sorts of other stuff. And I basically had to take a chat of about 1,200 people and talk it off of the ledge. I mean, I'm surprised it worked. I mean, honestly. You want shock? I am surprised that I talked that chat off of the ledge. I mean, I still think of it as like, how did that happen? I made words. I tried to make it understandable and calm everything down so Alex could talk. But yes, to this day, I think that there could have been some divine intervention. You know, I don't want to say that I'm a great orator. I am, but that's beside the point. But, you know, like I said, even I mean, there had to have been some kind of kind angel or spirit calming people's souls because, man, that was ugly in chat. And once again, I can't believe that I smoothed that over. Butter is a bot. Well, not actually, Noodles is not just Butter. There's many Butters. We're all Butter. All you got to do is get an anonymous picture, put Butter, and then go into a chat. And poof, you're Butter. You know, and that's the whole thing about Butter. You know, he's a Boit legend. He is a Boit myth. And once again, you can be that myth. We all can be Butter. We can all go out and do Butter things. The question always is not who is Butter, but which Butter. And that is the magic of Butter. And you're going to be seeing a lot more of Butter because, after all, any of you can be Butter in the Boit. Just saying. It's just, I will know the original Butters because, you know, of our past entanglements. You know, in reality, I am the authority on who is Butter at any given time. And the thing with the magic of Butter, I will keep my mouth shut. Just saying. Now, the funny thing is, General Awareness, I expected Melton to go live again. I mean, I have had a device charged just for Melton's next fit because I was expecting him to do one in the middle of the night, and he didn't. I've got notifications on. It would have showed me if he did. But Melton had a quiet night, which is unlike Melton. You know, he's not a quiet night kind of guy. But yes, River is going to take up the sword. She's going to go after Nicolina and the rest of us and try to get... So you're about to get knocked over. Come here, honey. And she's about to declare war on our entire side when it's not necessary, but she feels the need to do this to suck up to Bob and Lori and the rest of them. Oh, I know. I mean, the thing is, it's what Melton wants. You see, the reason why he fell for it, he wants this to be the case. So he is willing to suspend disbelief. I mean, you were already, when I came into chat, you were already into the call. And my first thought is like, Milton, can't you hear that's rap? His voice is pretty damn distinctive. If I want to, I can put on another voice. Now, once again, I used to have a friend that was ethnically Chinese. His name was John Yi. He was born in the United States. He was just as American as all of us. Now, the funny thing is, he was also a manager at the pizza place that my friends worked at. He could, in any time he wanted to, he could put on an accent sounding like he just fell off the boat. And his English skills are better than ours. I mean, he had a lovely, flowing voice of perfect English coming out of his mouth. But whenever he would get, like a bitching ass Karen customer, he would literally sound like he just fell off the boat. That he's only been in America for 5 minutes. And he would sit and troll the Karens, with a fake Chinese accent when he had no Chinese accent. I mean, we have more of a Chinese accent than he did. Because as I said, he spoke his English so perfectly and flowingly. He could have been a TV announcer. But once again, every time that he got a Karen, hello? He no here. Like he'd go to the manager, let me talk. He was the manager, but let me talk. He no here. And like I say, I mean, he would just do it perfectly. I mean, I can't even do it justice. Now my nose is running because I'm about to laugh. And I'll tell you another John Yee story. Now, John Yee was a bit older than me, and I was of legal age to drink. Now, a bunch of them he was with one night wasn't. And he was carrying like 2 30-packs of beer. And someone said, John, what are you going to do if the cops stop on? And once again, John spoke perfect English. So he looked at my friend and he held up the beer and he says, I carry these because they make me carry these. In his fake Chinese, I can't even do it. But, perfect off the boat, he said, I carry these because they make me carry these. He was a fun guy. I mean, my whole crowd, we were very humorous. But that was his plan. The fact that he was the adult age with the alcohol and there were minors there, if the cops was going to come, he was going to act like he just fell off the boat. I carry these because they make me carry these. I mean, we had fun times, just saying. Now, I can, if I work on it a little bit, I can do a knockoff of the John Yee voice to where you will think that I am Chinese. I have to work on it a bit. I've not done it in forever. But used to be when I lived in Cincinnati and you'd have the stupid bullshit spammer calls. I could do the Chinese voice and they didn't know that I wasn't Chinese. And I say this because if I would have called Melton, I would have did the Chinese voice. Because I would have gave Melton enough credit to have at least tried to figure out my voice. I mean, Rap's voice is so distinct and he giggles. I mean, the giggle in itself. I'm sitting there thinking, oh, you're going to give it away. I can't believe Melton's so dumb. And then he just kept getting dumber. And then he fell for it again. And at that point, I'm, wow, he's that stupid. And then once again, my internal system is just like, why is Melton doing this? And it's because of projection. He wants this to happen so bad. He's willing to accept it if it does. It's like being a teenager and a supermodel falls through your window in lingerie. I mean, it's not going to happen. But in your mind, when you're a teenager and a boy, you could kind of see it happening. But these are the visualizations that River is trying to create in their mind. that she has all the answers and she wants attention. I mean, what's the point? None of us are anything to her. She could have changed her YouTube name, walked away from this entire community, and did whatever she wanted and been on YouTube or not. She wants the attention. You see, she's addicted, in my opinion, to love bombing people. And that's why she was love bombing me, because she wanted me to give her that love back. When there was no love there, that was just her manipulating me. Well, Rash, you can have a couple of them if you come here. Just saying. Now, her brother is a perfect kitty for someone. Now, she could never live without me. She would wither away, and this one would wither away and die without me. I have no doubt about it. Summer would eat me at some point if I die. She would just go 20 feet away and cry. And I know, because if I go to sleep when she doesn't want to, or if I go into sleep that's not placing that she's not approved of, she would go 20 feet away from me and sit and scream endlessly. This cat is so utterly dependent on me, she could never have anyone else. Now, I do have a few kitties that are just as good kitties and loving kitties, but they're not, I'm not the end of their world. And there's a few cats that I would give homes if I could find them to a good person. Well, yeah, like Satin. Satin. She's my oldest female now. And that's all I am to her. She don't want no cuddly. She don't want nothing lovely. I am just an avenue to food. She has no interest in the rest of us. She doesn't even have interest in the other cats. Yeah, that's just her personality. She's a background kitty. Now, there are cats like that, and once again, Satin are one of those kitties. Now, my boy kitties are far better than my girl kitties. Just saying. Oh, yes, JP, because that's what we've been talking about. We're going to go here in a little bit, because I've basically got out most of what I needed to say. River said she's going to go live in a couple days, quote, exposing Nicolina, and that many people in our community are being kept here against their will, is one of her stories. So she's going to be co-signing Bob and all of them. She's got about 57 subscribers. And after her saying that I threatened her when I didn't, I'm going to be all over her like white on rice. Yep. Just saying. And once again, I know that when she starts with this, it's going to be hurtful to a lot in the community, especially like Kaz and Ash. And this is why we're having this live, because I wanted everyone to be ready for it. Hello, Izzy. Actually, as soon as I get that return address, Izzy, expect about 8 wild cats to be sent your way, just saying. Including Rachella's father, who no doubt is in the other room in my bed. And one of them got sick all over my black satin comforter. And I can't clean it right now. So that's why I was saying, I was like, yes, give me a return address to where I can send you every wild cat on this property. But when we get good spring rains, I'll clean my comforter. And until then, it'll be set in the closet until I can clean it properly. Now, I might talk to our friends sometime in the spring and get to a laundromat. Now, the last time that I was able to get to a laundromat, I washed everything, and I think it cost me like $125. I was like, wow. We're like, ow. But if I can get to a laundromat in the next 6 months, I'll just launder that comforter, because that's what I would like to do, is launder my bedding in a proper laundry and not in a giant tub. Just saying. Well, I got mice too. Now, Richella's grandfather, he's in the barn this winter because every time I go out there, he's in my loft. He's in my studio and gaming area. Now, for her brother likes the barn too, so you guys had bought a couple nice kitty beds. So I put a kitty bed out there for Fulgrim. And when he's out there, he will sleep in the kitty bed when it's cold. But Richella's grandfather, he's out there in that barn sleeping in that bed right now. No doubt. Because every time I go out there in the morning, he's out there in that bed staying warm. And then when I go up into the loft, he gets scared and runs off because he's very wild. But yes, right now there's a Richella's wild granddaddy. And Richella has his cheeks. I'll hold you up, honey. You see how she's kind of got, these big cheeks right here? These come from her grandfather. Just from her grandfather. None of the other kitties have the big wide cheeks. She's got man cheeks. She says, "Stop it, I'm sleeping." Oh, go back to sleep, honey. But yes, that's distinctive. You look at him and his cheeks are just like Richella's. Oh yeah, she's already asleep again. And you can pick her up carefully and she won't even wake up. Okay, when I set her back down, she did for a second and just stuck her head under her legs. But yeah, River's going to come up and she's going to be making up shit about us. Well, Katie, none of us did. That's the whole point of this live. In me talking about my interaction. She was friendly to me before, and I gave her a friendly heads up because I didn't know that if she knew about Jimbo coming after me with a gun. Because once again, I don't automatically assume everyone knows everything, especially when they've been away from YouTube. But when I told her that, and that, basically, I'm going to have to go after the Jimbo camp, now she goes over and tries to say that I threatened her. And I didn't. And these are the kind of lies and fabrications that she's going to be spewing out. Well, yeah, I know you have your health issues, Cass, but this is why, because this is for everyone. You, Ash, and myself would be, I consider, what we would consider the more affected. But everyone in the community is going to be affected. There's a lot of people that would go over there at night just to hang out and talk. And all of them are going to be put through an emotional roller coaster because in reality, River's a monster. River is a river monster. And it's sad. For our parts, we were her friend. All of us. We all were her friend. And even when I knew she was drinking on her medication and she was fucked up, I kept that to myself. Because, once again, I was her friend for my part. But she was never our friend. And that makes me sad. And the person that we thought was our friend is now going to gun for us for some of the most horrible people on the internet, showing me that this is her group. She fits right in there. And it said, "Hello, Mama She." And yes, Mama She was her friend too. And once again, she's telegraphing to Bob and all them that she's going to talk all about Nicolina and expose that we're keeping people here against. Okay, you can say this morning love. Now, we have morning love here. Now, you see that sticking of her mouth in my, like she's doing right now. This is how love starts. I have to give my Summer love in the morning because she'll ask for it. And that's what this is what this is. You see that little gesture she's doing right here? This is I want my love now. I love you, honey. Yes, I do. I love you. But yes, this is a gesture you normally don't get to see. It's something we do in the morning, and she will come up and take her face right up against you like that and push. And that means I'm ready for my love now. You remember the old thing, I'm ready for my close up? That's kind of what it means with Summer, except I'm ready for my love now. I love you very much, Summer. Yes, I do. And she's almost 6. Aren't you, Summer? Say, I'm almost 6 years old. And in reality, she is about the same age as Summer Wells. Aren't you, honey? Because all through the case, I would think about that on and off because, association. The cat's name is Summer. Well, they'll always see. I mean, well, everyone. I'm near the end of my presentation. I really have talked about everything that there is to talk about. Now, while I'm here, I'm going to see if there's anything interesting on live. I don't think there is. Well, Trisha Licious is on. She has a title saying Mission Accomplished. She has 15 watching. So that must mean she got some simp to give her money. Well, you know what? I think we might have a stupid person to listen to for a little while. And I can give my kitty love at the same time. This is Trisha Licious. Now, Trisha Licious, I stopped covering her when her daughter was taken because that was my issue. She's a drug addict and she abuses her daughter and she abuses everyone around her is a, quote, pretty girl. Now, I have done research in the last 2 days and have found out she has got the daughter back. I hate this fucking thing. This phone is a problem. I'm trying to show you a picture. And every time I do, it's fucking it up. But yeah, I mean, this is morning. She's on West Coast time. The good mom is in a car at what time would it be her time? Shit. At 6:30 a.m.
I think too many people were not paying attention in that class. And it's a darn shame.
So this is what she's doing at 6:30 in the morning. Obviously not home with the kid. She's been out whoring and drugging.
A lot of traffic coming this way, and it's probably going to take forever for the light to turn. Tacos and tequila open daily at Palace Station.
Let me change devices. This one has a better volume. Because her volume is low. But that's also not my best volume device.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, shit.
There's a Chick-fil-A. And Panera Bread. And Noodles and Company. I'm not feeling this fucking traffic, though, y'all. That's one thing I don't like about Las Vegas is the traffic.
Oh, she's not even...
It's still not as bad as LA.
She's not even home with the kid in LA. It's Christmas time. So no doubt, see, I used to cover Trisha Licious. And at the moment that the kid was out of there, I didn't care. Let the whore go and do whatever she wanted to. But she's got the kid back now. And I've been trying to find out some things. Now, I do know that she was in LA a couple days ago. And this is the Christmas season. Today is December 13th. And she's off whoring in Las Vegas and not home with her daughter in LA. And this is why we're going to cover her. Because one of the things that I saw Trisha Licious do is take this little girl and pick her up off the ground by her arm, where the little kid's leg is dangling this high off the ground and hitting her. I saw her little simp. She took him in the other room one day and beat the living hell out of him. She thought she was out of sight, but you could see in one, like you're saying, if it's a frame like this, in one little corner like here, you could see you could hear the smack. She was hitting him in the other part of the place so hard, and you could see her fist was like this, and her arm was swinging down on him, and she was beating the fuck out of her simp because he evidently said the wrong thing. And this is Trishalicious. And this is why I used to cover her. And now that she has the kid back, I'm having to add her to my selection. But yes, so once again, I was trying to figure out why she's in a car at 6:30 a.m. Now, in Vegas, I think it may be 7:30, and it would explain why it's a little lighter. But yes, so, once again, she's thrown away the kid to the parents for a little while. It's best for the kid. I mean, whenever the kid is with the parents, it's best. Now, of course, the only time, usually she just drags the kid along. Seriously. And when I used to cover a lot of her live streams, she'd be wasted with a bunch of wasted meth heads in the middle of a city, dragging that kid around in the middle of the night. I shit you not. And this is why when I cover Trishalicious, my first thought is, where is the kid? Always. And because she has custody again, and when I saw that she was back and was talking about the kid, she said, I'm going to have to do some long live streams because we need Christmas. And she has always used that kid to grift. And that's her only interest in that kid is to get pity donos. And she always has her Cash App up. She does sleep streams with that cash up all the time, hoping that someone will give her a buck. And she's about Nicolina's age. Trishalicious. Now, she was once a Playboy model. She wasn't a Playmate. She wasn't in the Playboy magazine. Playboy had like an online thing, and she was one of the girls that sat around in the background. And at one time for a while, she was a Playboy model that modeled for their live online junk. And she's an alcoholic and a pile of human trash and an abuser, all in a pretty little package. And because she's a pretty little abuser, society lets her get away with it.
Nothing can be as bad as LA. I don't do mornings, babe. I'm not a morning person.
You're a whore.
Vampire. I shouldn't even be out right now. It's dangerous to me. The early morning light is like my kryptonite. Fucking terrible. I hate it. Nothing worse. Except garlic. Just kidding. Okay, was I supposed to? Okay, yeah. Don't play me, bitch. Don't fucking try to play me.
Okay, half fight. Yeah, she's in Vegas right now.
It's fucking doing some weird
Oh,
shit.
she's a monster. But once again, she's a pretty tiny girl that's past her prime. And she still acts like a 13 and 14-year-old. All she's interested in partying, drugs, and dick. That's all she's interested in. And she's more interested in the party and the drugs than the dick.
I gotta just trust my gut. Trust my instincts because deep down I know what the fuck I am doing.
But yeah, this is why I have to talk about
I
it.
learned to drive with the fucking craziest. Okay, good.
That works good for me because, there's a group in here and I get to introduce you. Now, I am probably mainly going to cover Trisha middle of the night because she is a in the middle of the night streamer. So, when I stream in the middle of the night, a lot of the times she is going to be there for content.
In the country. So if I can drive in fucking LA, I can drive anywhere.
Well, actually, Taylor, I don't know all of her sins. seriously, I only know some of her sins because I covered her for about 4 months before she lost her daughter during a really bad abusive phase of her. And that's why I had said that when she lost her daughter, I'm done. Whore can go be whore. But since she has her daughter back, I'm going to cover her. And when she loses her daughter, I'm going to stop covering her. But until then, I believe that she's one of these people that need an eye kept on her. And most of my subscribers are female. And once again, this is an abusive female, and there's a child that is an issue. And that makes it work. That makes her a dragon. You see, if the child's not in her life, she's just a whore. But with the child in her life, she's a monster that uses that child to enable her being a monster.
75% of those people, I have no idea. How they got a motherfucking driver's license.
Well, I don't care, Milton, you little dumbass. You can string me all you want. You can't suck my dick, though. Nope, you can't suck my dick. You see, I learned from Rich Life that I can say, you're jealous of my life. I can't too. I can also say, Milton, you want the big Johnston. And that's what Milton wants. Milton wants the big Johnston, as Rich Life would say. Now, Rich Life was nice enough to put up a bunch of his content that he had hidden. And that's going to actually give me some fun, side digressions that we can foray into. But yes, Milton, we know that you want the big Johnston, but you're not going to get the big Johnston. You're only going to get the green rubber shaft. And once again, rap, we showed that, and you can't pretend that was a bottle because, it was obviously a green dick. Obviously, I know. Now, you're probably using that bottle now because you probably can't find your green rubber dick. It's probably hid with your gun. So, whatever. You can stream me, but you know what? You'll never do good in a dress, Milton. You will never look good in makeup. You will never look good in a dress, no matter what you do. So, stream all you want, dumb motherfucker. Who you gonna stream me to? That's the funny part. Really? Who? Everybody's here. Just saying. And I was always more fun than you. See, that's the thing, Milton. You can't be fun. Now, we're going to go back to Trisha because she's a fun kind of girl. Now, the problem with Trisha, she has too much fun.
Seriously. There's Area 15. Oh, Area 15. I love you so much. I love you. Oh, why?
Well, I don't, on YouTube, I don't, unless you're a monster, I don't. I don't make videos about, I might make one video poking someone friendly. But, if I'm doing multiple videos over and over, it's because you're a monster. Now, if you stop being a monster, I'll stop making videos about you. Like when Rich Life went away from YouTube, I stopped making videos about him.
This guy is going fucking nuts now. Let's go away. Jeez, 55 is too slow.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to bump you on.
It's a ridiculous speed limit. Are you fucking, you gotta be shitting me. Oh, there's the Rio. Good times, good times. Not really. You guys can even see that shit. Fucking Carvana.
Now, we're 8 minutes behind. They're driving. Well, shit. It was a beautiful picture I wanted to show you, but it blurred. I say it's currently on Las Vegas. Now, they're at rush hour. You know, I mean, they are at work, going to work time. And Trisha Licious is bitching because there's traffic. Now, for those that don't know her, unless the world conforms to her will, she will be doing nothing but complaining. So we're going to go 8 minutes into current time. Because all she's going to do is bitch about traffic for 8 minutes.
Fuck, it turned off. I was like, no. Do not make everybody get, I was like, please don't make me get to the right side and just fucking pull over and wait for some emergency vehicle to go through. In this traffic right now, there's like 5 or 6 lanes. I'm like, dude, don't do that.
You saw traffic's moving.
Crisis averted.
Now, where I lived in Cincinnati, this would have been considered nice.
I could use some chapstick, I think.
Now, this is the thing about Trisha. Now, you've heard her talk. Grump, 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 grump. I mean, at 8:46, she's on a highway near downtown Las Vegas. There's several lanes, and as you can see, they're not at a stop. You know, in Cincinnati, at 8:46 a.m., going down I-75, all 5 to 6 of those lanes, depending on where you're at, they're going to be at a total stop. But, I mean, she's in a car with traffic flowing, but this is the thing with Trisha. She lives for a buzz. She literally does. Now, she's not having fun in traffic. And like I say, I look behind her, and there's not a car anywhere behind her. So this traffic's pretty thin. She's just mad. She's not driving. She's in the passenger seat. Now, can you imagine being the poor driver, which is no doubt her simp or her dick of the moment? And her dick of the moment is taking her to Las Vegas, where they will do a lot of drugs. She will spend all of their money, and she will do sexual things to them because she's also an escort. I don't know if she's currently doing that or not, but when I left off the last time, she was an escort. And every time that she came back from one of her escorting jobs, you could tell because she was overly made up, overly dressed up, and she had eyes, black eyes, this big around from all of the drugs she was doing with.
Ah, my lip gloss. My lips fell in the dryer.
Oops, knocked it over. Katie, if I blocked anyone, unblock them, because I just accidentally hit the thingy. No, I didn't block anyone.
Doing better.
Now, once again, in the middle of the night, when she does her partying, there will be a show. But I'm not quite sure why maybe they're just getting to Las Vegas, is what I'm thinking. Because I know 48 hours ago, she was in LA. And now she's in Las Vegas. So I'm guessing that probably about yesterday night, you notice this, about yesterday night, they probably took out for Vegas in the middle of the night. So once again, there's a guy, and she's not dressed up in super sexies. So this tells me that some guy to impress her has taken her from LA to Vegas to get some off of her. She dumped the kids off on mom and dad, and now she's live streaming and bitching. And she's no doubt telling him that I need to live stream to get paid, you know, with her Cash App. And she has that Cash App on that screen at all times.
Everybody can pick up the pieces.
And she will do ridiculous long lives, no point, dead, not saying a word, just because she's hoping that one of these simps that are whacking off to her is going to give her a tip for it.
Yeah, so I'm sure my stream is going to cut off again at some point when I get up here, because it always cuts out at some point.
This is Trisha-licious, and that's the name of her channel. Now, when she's out, talking about herself, she doesn't call herself Trisha. She calls herself Trisha-licious. So she embraces her character. She actually identifies as Trisha-licious. I am shitting you not. And once again, she is such an inflated sense of her importance just because she's pretty and has a vagina. And once again, as you ladies know, there are disgusting men out there that will hit on anything and everything. And these are Trisha-licious prey. Now, she will prey on predatory men. She will prey on incels. She will prey on all men. That is her way. She fights with women, but men are her prey and her child.
Right, until the wheels fall off, huh? Yes, we are. Yes, we motherfucking.
But that is what she does. If she's not... Now, once again, when she's all pleasure and getting money and hers, she turns into an arrogant, condescending asshole, and you would believe that she's the queen of the universe. In her mind, she is. But when you're doing normal, everyday things, this is all she does. Whine, complain, something isn't right. Constant. And this is, her. This is a look into her soul. And this is the face that she uses to abuse men with.
Here we go, ride or dies. Here we go.
Oh, I'm not on the live chat.
It may be a bumpy ride. Buckle up. Lord knows people can't drive around here. Oh, Jimmy. Really? Oh, come on, people. What the fuck?
She's not driving either. She's the passenger.
What is going on? And there's this fucking truck. I was like, I just barely couldn't get past these people, or get past that truck. And that's always, no.
Now, the only way she shuts up, if you hand her a Corona, now she won't just drink any beer. She has to have expensive Corona. And this is a first. The Corona comes before the child does.
It's always very frustrating. Now the truck's trying to get over this.
She obviously sobered up during the journey and slept some. And now got up and is trying to live stream her some money so she can put in a slut machine. I mean a slot machine.
I know.
Well, she won't look. I mean, he ain't gonna care.
Out of the fucking way, bitch. These guys are making it like so they're just driving like I'm kind of stuck between two tires.
I don't see him.
I can't drive.
I have seen a couple people I know, but from another community. Melton's not in her chat.
Why did this truck get over? Oh, so irritating. This big truck got over just them passing by right now.
Well,
Just to go like super.
she's gonna. Let's see. Looking at the car, it does look like a newer car. One of the dicks is going to rent a hotel. And he's going to get taken for every dime that she can get from him. And they'll do drugs, and she'll drink a lot of alcohol. So it'll be somewhere there in Vegas. Like I say, it looks like a decent vehicle. She has found her a mark. And she's going to take him into Vegas for all she can get. And this is why she wants some Cash App real bad, because she wants to do some gambling on her own money when he ain't looking.
Yeah, fuck you, pal. I'm getting over here. Maybe. Oh, finally it's turning. Thank God. But either way, what a dipshit. I hate big trucks.
Maybe.
FedEx is the worst. I told you. I swear to God, I've driven from fucking here to LA and back so many motherfucking times. I
Okay.
could, like, do it in my fucking sleep.
Now, once again, if you had done, you know why? Because this is one of her things. I mean, she just let a cat out of the bag. She grifts men to take her to Vegas for a good time, and she puts out for them. You know, now, once again, if you had been to Vegas so many times, wouldn't you be used to the traffic and the drive? I mean, I used to go to Cincinnati when I did before seizures, and before I was a caregiver, I used to go to Cincinnati 2 times a month. You know, so I was used to that trip. Once again, she makes this LA trip regularly, but it's always with a different guy. Always with a different guy.
I pretty much have. Almost. Fuck. I've had to drive there through fucking all hell and everything. Through sickness, like in sickness and in health, and through fucking sleet and fucking snow and fucking rain. Maybe not snow, but it's been a fucking bitch and a half.
Now, she does have the brains of a yoo-hoo. Yes, if you go into a store and you go and you pick up a chocolate yoo-hoo, a bottle of chocolate yoo-hoo and Trishalicious have the same IQ.
And those fucking FedEx drivers are the motherfucking worst. The motherfucking worst. Like, oh, the worst fucking drivers. You stupid idiot. And then, of course, the guy in front of me has to go all slow, too. You stupid fuck. Why? Yeah, that guy. What an asshole. The FedEx drivers are the absolute worst, and so it didn't surprise me when I found out that that disgusting son of a bitch took that poor little girl. Fucking just made me absolutely so sick and infuriated. I was just like...
And as she says that, I'm remembering in my mind her child hanging up by the arm, and it screaming, and her swinging and hitting the kid. You know, with her pulling the kid's arm out of its socket slowly, which is extremely painful. And she's gonna, once again, now see, this is another thing she does. She tries to faux that she's an emotional person when once again, you can listen to her and hear she's not.
Too overprotective of a parent, you just can't.
Yeah, the overprotective parent that had your kid out doing drugs in the middle of the night for the last 3 years in the middle of the night.
So yeah, but I knew it just by the way those fuckers drive. I'm like, you guys are driving like fucking shit. Oh, look at this. Just want to see some pretty like desert shit.
Some pretty like desert shit. Yeah, she's a great thinker. Now she's just... Okay, she's hit a bad spot. Okay, I'm going to stop covering her here because apparently her chat is crashing. You know, we're a few minutes... Oh, shit, Team Rose is live. I mean, if it rains, it pours.
Anyway, you can send me the link, or... Thank you, Gail. How are you, babe?
Well, we were watching Trishalicious.
I'm really sad.
And now we
Tom,
just switched to Team Rose.
You know, I felt so comfortable with Tom, and I felt very safe. I felt like, you know, and then after he died, and he's been hanging around with me, I feel like Tom and I have spent many hours lying in bed together, cuddling and talking and being...
Oh, my God. Now, I've not talked about, you know, I've had a chance to play a couple of her lives when I've been live. But one of the people in her chatter, Tom has died. And once again, you know, I've given her moment. But now she actually believes that Tom is communicating with her from the dead and that they're spending time together. Wow, I did not expect that. Just saying. Now, I'm trying to form commentary other than this bitch is crazy. But unfortunately right now, this is the only commentary that I can manage to pull out of my head now that she has sprung this upon me that Tom is dead and they're still talking. Mom and Dad's dead. They have never said a word to me. Ever, ever, never. Dad died in 2001. Mother died in 2011. I have not heard a peep from either of them. You know, I buried my entire family. They're all dead. The amount of them that has talked to me since then is 0. Not a word. But, Rose, oh shit. Bob and Lori's in there. Caught your slip up on Nick's last night. SMM's name, ... Oh, yes. Apparently, Lori is in Team Rose's chat right now. If you want to go over to Team Rose's chat and become a chatter, I'm sure you would be entertained right now, just saying. But Rap's over there. Sarah Smiles is over there, who was trying to turn in all of her channels and then claiming that I didn't know what I was talking about when, yes, I did, because I was watching her do it in real fucking time. Yes, and in Crime Time Grind, and like I say, Rap's over there. So I'm sure right now, you know, your opinion would be very nice. Now, I do think there's any account there also. If, like I say, if you want to go over there and stir the bitch up and tell Bob and Lori exactly what you think of them, you could start trouble in her chat. And if I wasn't here giving you a live right now, oh yeah, I'd flip right over to that Grimgoth account. It is I, Grimgoth! And then I would say, Bob, I bet you didn't see that coming. Immediately. And Lori, just thinking about you makes me want to eat. Just saying.
Like an old married couple or something. And then I was getting these images of, like, the Civil War or the Revolutionary War where he was a soldier. Soldier Tom. Probably died young.
Actually, I have a Forrest's mask right here.
Normal thing. I unblocked you. Hi, Kalua's mom. Love you too, babes. Thanks.
Forrest always has to have hair down his
gut. Blind man rap. Who's the blind man, Bob? People were.
Bob is a dumbass.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I shut down the thing. People were waiting on me. Well, when I went to bed, were there people in there and I missed the whole thing? I'm sorry, guys. I should have gone in there. I was gonna do the.
This is the internet. There is probably some form of entity there, but if it was a person, that is very subjective.
Live. I got ready, and I had to go do something, and I was like, I'll do it in a half an hour, and I planned to do it in a half an hour, and then I got so upset, I couldn't do it. I started to bawl my eyes out. I couldn't control it. Yes, he held down my lies when you fell asleep a couple of times. It was fun hearing him. I know. I trusted him. I trusted him and I felt safe with him. And he stayed awake when Benny and Nicolina were threatening me with their cops, to which they've received a report, which is ongoing. Bob is what your head
Oh
does.
no, the Maine police are gonna get
What's
us.
wrong with you, Benny?
Everyone make
Go
a break
snort
for it.
more meth. Actually, don't snort more meth. Rose, good to see you. Stop that sad crap and smile. Can't help it. I want you to have a great day. I do smile when I'm with the baby. Who's Lori and who's Bob? Stop bitching about these people. Lori is in here acting like
Who's
she's
Lori and who's Bob?
For Smoky Mountain Mama.
I gotta laugh.
Who's Lori? I don't know, you guys. You guys have your own fights. Benny, are you going through male menopause again? Are you leaking? I'm sorry that your penis isn't working. It's probably Condis's fault.
No, that's doing too much meth. Because when you do too much meth, your willy don't work.
Caloric issues, Benny.
Just saying.
Bolt Express. I saved all of Tom's
That's
points.
God's
How did
ways
you
of
get
telling
them?
you did too much.
Would you, honey? Oh, that's great. Make a slideshow. I looked at those pics. Before I saw the cat when he was the little boy and he was sitting in the...
Well, you did,
on the
Katie. Well,
potty.
now
You
to
know,
frame
I
this,
was
what
like,
Katie's saying, I was there. Katie came in and being nice. And immediately, Katie, that's the tone immediately. And Katie just went in and said hi. And hi to a few people in chat. It's just, Rose knew that Nicolina is related to Katie indirectly. Through YouTube. And she just immediately started on Katie as soon as she went in her chat. Which is why I told everyone here, oh, Bob and Lori's in chat. Feel free to go over and make an ass out of yourself. Because, once again, when Katie went into her chat all friendly like, Rose just attacked her. Because if Rose hadn't done that, I would not have encouraged people to go over and tell Bob and Lori various words.
Sure, I'm on the body, but then I realized it was because of the cat. I just wonder about that family. Tom meant a lot to many in a short period of time. Yeah, he had this energy that grew so strong. It's true. His love and friendship was amazing. His devotion is really I don't know. I just love Tom so much. I don't even know why. I just love you, Tom. I miss you, Tom, and I really trusted in you, and I felt safe with you, Tom.
Now, I don't usually like to speak for the dead, but I'm sure Tom, even though he's dead, is not comfortable with this.
Search Life News. Is there any way I can, if I modded you, would you put the link in there, Tina? If I modded you for a second, could you put the link in? Or
Well, McKenna, the thing is,
something?
she didn't know Tom. I mean, Sean was just someone in her chat that she had not known that long. No. What is happening here? Now, I will explain this to you. Why is Rose on and on about Tom? Her fear of her own mortality. And Rose is not mourning Tom. Rose is mourning the fact that she is in her 60s. In that, I'm 54. All the men in my family stay strong. We don't get sick. But at 78 years old, we die of a massive heart attack. I will stay strong. I will stay healthy. And at 78 years old, one day, I will grab my chest. I will fall straight over the ground. And I may be dead before I hit the ground. That's how my grandfather died. My grandfather was dead before he hit the ground. And my two uncles died at 78. Now, my father died at 68, but he died in an accident. And no doubt, he too would have died of a heart attack at 78. He would have lived, he should have lived now honestly, my mother died in 2011, and if he didn't die in an accident, they should have died the same year. But this is what Rose is mourning. Rose isn't mourning Tom. Rose is mourning herself. Now, I found out a little bit about her. She grew up in Westchester County, New York. It's rich. million homes. You know the X-Men movies? That's where the X-Men mansion is supposed to be. In Westchester County, New York. In that neighborhood that the supposed X-Men mansion is supposed to be in, that's the neighborhood that Rose grew up in. So Rose grew up in a rich neighborhood. Rose has never had to do anything her entire life other than run around and be a free spirit with her fantasies. Well, life is hard, and she's towards the end of life. And she's not mourning Tom. She's mourning herself. You know, I'm almost 55 years old. In another, let me see you. Well, less than 6 months, I will be 55. That means in 23 years, I will drop dead of a massive heart attack. It's a given. It's going to happen. You know, when I hit 78, you know, all I'll have to think of is today the day. You know, and that is, you know, when I hit 78 on my 78th birthday, every day after that, I will be thinking, is today the day? And then I'll go on with my life until I have my massive heart attack and drop over dead and fall on my face. But I know that. I accept this. This is the way it's going to be if I like it or not. Nothing in the universe is going to change this hard fact. I will die. And I will die when I am 78. I will die in about 23 and a half years to 24 years from this moment. Nothing's going to stop it. Now, once again, Rose, she's been a free spirit. She's never had to accept responsibility or hard facts her entire life. I buried my entire family. She's just went along wistfully in her entire life. And this is how she's handling death. She's mourning for herself, and she's imagining Tom is with her. Because, you know, it's all scary and like. But, you know, as I said, I buried my entire family, and there's been zero peeps from them since.
Man on pause. Gail loves BK. Lady Wayne. I'm glad you caught me live, dear. Good. I'm glad you're here.
Okay, I guess Milton is there now.
Welcome.
I see chat scrolling a lot, so it must have been Milton in there.
Love, he stuck it in a roll. And did you stuck yours in a hot dog? Did you make a little slit at the end of the hot dog and stick yours in a hot dog?
I'm not commentating that.
I've got a friend from.
I want to pretend this was not said on anything. I need a happy place. I need a happy place.
So funny.
I need a
There was
pet.
something about the way he talked that I was like.
I need a
He
pet.
said things like, "Where's that stupid thing? Where that stupid fucking thing? Or that stupid fucking thing? Or that that dumb."
Good morning,
thing.
Barely.
I gotta go get that.
You're
dumb
glad you
stupid
just
thing.
missed
And
what we
he would've
just
said
heard
that
just
too, or
saying,
he'd
and I'm
say
not going to
just
repeat it
simple
because
little stuff like that, or he'd say,
it was creepy.
I don't know. There was something about the way he talked. I don't know. I feel like he and I have spent many hours in bed together just talking. I don't know. It's weird. So I don't know.
He was just someone that you knew on the internet.
No, I don't have any ill will toward any of these people. Lady Wayne, I've called you acting like Bob. Whatever, guys. Bob is one of Lori's. Who's Lori? The live didn't shut down. It stayed on.
Apparently, he's not in there now.
But I never even went live. Is it still there? So who was in there, Kat? Who was there? I feel bad. I missed it. If I'd seen it, I probably would have stayed on.
What, Lori, makes sense. He goes back to his daddy, Benny. I mean, that's all that Bob and Lori live for, is to attack us. I mean, I have a life outside of all of this. It's why I'm so bad about getting back to people on messages. Just saying. Because, you know, I have to do all the chores here myself. All that Bob and Lori have to do is sit and be grown to the couch.
And then I would have been up all night exhausting myself. I've been this grief has weighed me down. It's exhausted me. And I have to have some, who was in there though? Thank you guys for waiting for me. Was it you? Yeah, I thought it was you and Aaron. Were other people in there too? I got promo codes on green dildos this morning. Are you going to use them? What is a green dildo? Why does it have to be green? What about a purple dildo or a yellow dildo? Do they make your sex better when you use these green dildos? Lady Wayne lives in a blue Chevy S10 in San Antonio, Texas. Well, I'm glad she's
We're
not
several
living in
minutes
New England
behind
where it's
real
fucking
time right now,
freezing,
by
or
the way.
Colorado, but now we know he has a gun. And the authorities are looking for him, so he's on the run. Huh. Who's Lady Wayne? I watched his videos with you last night after I sent you the links. Oh, thanks, babe. That meant a lot to me. I just could not find them. I gotta get dressed. I'm in my towel. I thought I'd get ready with you guys, you know.
Thank God she's not showing
I have a
us.
big day. I gotta call accountants.
Yes.
Lawyer,
Thank you, Rose, for not showing us in your towel.
You know, I have to do a lot of businessy stuff. And when it comes to babies, Benny, you wish. I am the best. Babies absolutely adore me. And nothing you can say can take it away, Benny. So if you want to try to bring me down because you're a little baby,
Oh yeah, I mean,
well, hell,
I only traded a few words with him, but he seemed to be like a nice person. He wasn't involved in the drama community. He seemed like an okay guy. And he was just nice to Rose. Now, once again, Rose, I guess anyone that's ever been nice to her, she takes that as undying love, I guess. But that's an assumption on my part.
No. In fact, I'm going to go teach my... Guys, is hell to the hillbilly or redneck? I think it's hillbilly, but Jimmy's the one who came up with it, and he's a redneck, so I don't know, guys. What do you think? Hell to the
Cat fight mother room.
I fell asleep. I talked to him. I feel so connected to him, more close to him now that he died, but that's not the way it's supposed to be. I felt close to him the whole time. I always resonated with Tom. Always. My grandson's going to learn Team Rose as his first words because he's always going to be seeing me wearing Team Rose t-shirts. I thought you turned over a new leaf, Beanie. Are you just making it obvious that was all bullshit? Well, hell, did I know it was bullshit? Could I tell all along? I fell asleep to him, and thank you, Kat. He really loved you. Rap, I would love to assist on this shirt. I thought you didn't like Rap, Benny. I thought you guys were fighting. Oh, was that fake? That's what you think. You don't know anything about me, Benny. I think your thing is painful. I think it's covered with sandpaper, if it even functions at all. Yes,
Now,
they like to upset Rose when I'm
see, when Benny was in Rose's chat, I wasn't abusive to him. And Rap is doing the same. Just because he's in the chat, Rap isn't being abusive to him. That's called being civilized. You know, Benny wasn't being abusive to me. I wasn't being abusive to Benny. Benny's not being abusive to Rap. Rap's not being abusive to Benny. But somehow, you know, people will start getting into their head that means you're in league together because you acted like a civilized human being.
Ernie's going to be pissed when he sees I'm in the State Star Witness. How are you the State Star Witness, Benny? Team Rose, you are way too good for this shit. I know. Now this chat, well, then when the BKs come in, yeah.
Now, once again, you know,
You got him from
if Benny is telling the truth, he's going to be coming down to a county right near me. And he even said we should get together for lunch. And if he'd want to pick me up for lunch, I'd just go to lunch with him. And in fact, I'd take him over here to Somerset. Now, the Amberlin Reed community, my restaurants are famous because there's the one that the morbidly obese 600-pound toddler used to eat at all the time. The closest restaurant to me is YouTube famous, the sit-down restaurant. It's called Yamato's, and it's a Japanese place. And it was one of Amberlin's favorite places to eat. And it is the closest sit-down restaurant to my house. And they do have great food. In fact, they will serve, if you get like, I used to get the beef and rice, and my cousin used to get the chicken and rice. They served you a portion that was like eating a Thanksgiving meal, and then the next day you had a good lunch. You weren't eating it all. But this is one of the places that Amberlin Reed like to eat. And it's YouTube famous. So once again, if a YouTuber comes down here, I'll take him to some of these YouTube famous places to eat, and they can, hashtag, Amberlin Reed on it, and she has 200,000 subscribers. I'm trying to think trying to remember how my view count on it. On my other channel, I got like 8,400 views on going by that restaurant. I filmed the restaurant and showed kind of the context of where Amberlin ate for the weekend, just running up and down the main road. It, showing them this was her food crawl. And it got about 8,400 views. So that's why I said that if anyone with a serious channel visits me down here, I'll take them to where they can actually make some decent YouTube content and more than pay enough for the dinner. Put it that way.
Facebook. Oh my God, I gotta go look at his Facebook. He would block me every now and then for some stupid reason. He would get mad at me sometimes. I made a number with Bob's area code and called Melton. Now he thinks I'm Blind Bob.
Oh, yeah,
Who's Blind Bob? I thought they thought you were Griff. I thought they thought you were King of the Streets. Is that the same guy? Is that Jamie?
God, if I was there, I'd say
can
yes.
I ask you something, Rap? How did you imitate his voice? Yeah.
He didn't.
He's got a hit on me.
He sounded just like Rap.
Rose and Tom are tore up people over here, but Rose never helped him to stop drinking. Yeah, I did actually help him to stop drinking, stupid. But can I help you stop drinking, asshole?
Didn't he die?
Can I help you stop drinking, you motherfucking piece of shit?
Now, I'm pretty sure on this. Let's not put this in stone. But I thought Bob died of cancer. No. Now I'm rewinding in my mind. Yeah, Bob died of cancer. I mean, now I got my name. I mean, it makes me, but yeah, the guy died of cancer. I mean, I guess I'm projecting. I want Bob to die, I guess. I didn't know I wanted Bob to die. Now, see, I had a Freudian slip. Wow. I didn't know it, but I guess deep down, somewhere psychologically, I want the Grim Reaper to come for Bob. I didn't know that. But yes, I started to say the other guy's name, and Bob's name came out with my reference of death. Interesting. Now, once again, if I currently had a therapist, we would be talking about that in my next session. Why did my mind slip out Bob? I mean, I consciously don't think I want Bob to die. Now, I'd like him to step on a Lego. I mean, one that really hurts too. But consciously, I don't think I want Bob to die. But I guess subconsciously, I may want Bob to die. I will have to explore this.
Shit. You go to sleep, Benny.
Oh, it must be Lori. She just said, LOL, as all these people talk about my sex life, ... LMAO Rick at Ash. So that's definitely Lori on the account, because she always does ... And once again, the only thing that we pointed out that Bob and Lori have herpes, and one had to give the other herpes. Just saying. And Bob can't see. So that leads me to believe that Bob went into the nest of Lori's herpes. Because, once again, if I see a pretty pussy there, but it seems to be covered in sores, we are not touching it. You know, like I told this one girl, pull those pants back up. She was upset. But once again, it looked to me like she might have herpes. And I told her to pull her shit back up, and we was done. Now, I was going to party with her still. We just weren't going to have sex. But at that point, she got really mad. So she ended up having to be driven home right then. And me not saying a word to her, with her screaming at me. Just saying. But I would not go into the herpes pit.
Thank you, Ash. I unblocked random Ash. I don't know why, but I did for some reason. Hopefully I won't regret it. Rose, I feel like y'all had to be... I know, I feel like Tom and I are so connected, and we only met at the end of the deal, you know, right before he died. He's always had hard lives in every life, and he's always died young. You wouldn't know, but anyone else who drinks, it's true. I know. He's the only...
Hold on, Prince. She said he always died young. I'm sure most of you missed that. He always died young. So she's talking to him about past lives too. So, I think that somebody has schizophrenic issues. I think we've hit our battery warning. Yeah, we've hit our battery warning, and we're going to have to go here in a minute because it looks like we're low enough right now to where this could turn off. We are 15 minutes behind what she is saying, but her chat is current. Oh, Ernie's over there. So, like I said, this device is about to die. I didn't realize it was so low. But yes, Ernie has just went in the chat over there in his rap. And Team Rose has 91 in chat right now. So I encourage everyone to go over to Team Rose and have a good time right now. Now, I'm going to put this on charge right here so I can do a live later if needed. And I am going to join you on a sock account over at Rose's. So I encourage everyone to have an entertaining time today. And if for those that do choose to go over there, I will see you over at Team Rose. We will set a record for people in her chat. And I will hold this kitty. I'm going to smoke a joint. And I am going to make fun of shit. Now, everyone, thank you for coming. And I'll see you later today.